move to sockets. Of course, there's also using memory and so on, but we would not do the shared memory one. So pipes is passing from one to another. Now please remember that similar to how you open and read files, if you want to do coding, the coding version, where you can say one program should open a pipe to another, the pipe works a lot like a file. Because it's just like one program says, I want to send data to you. So when one person opens to send, the other person what? Opens to receive. For a standard file, you just say open and then you are reading. Only you are doing the reading. That's you are pulling. And write, that means only you are pushing. But a pipe, the concept of the pipe is you open an object such that as one person is what? Reading from that. One person is writing to it. So it's like a file that doesn't exist. It has an ID, all right, but when one person is putting data in there, it's almost like a queue. When one person is putting something at one end, someone is also pulling from the other. So the queue, the pipe is that structure, right? The next thing we talk about is the port, right? Sockets, right? So I hope that at this time everyone is like very excited, at least has an idea that pipes are critical, right? So let's do the next one, sockets. Now, if you pick any computer, so I'm going to use, people have XAMPP, so I'll use a tool that XAMPP already has, so that people who maybe want to explore won't have to learn so many commands, but can still get it done. So we're going to go to XAMPP, and this is XAMPP. Now, in XAMPP folder, you have what is called XAMPP control. Right? It's a little program, and I do like it because it has a lot of tools. One of the most interesting ones it has is netstat. Now, netstat is also available in command line. So I just type in Windows netstat. I've forgotten all the. Oh, I have to be a root or something. Okay, so let me just run this as an administrator and see if I can do this. So run as administrator. Okay, yes. And I'll do netstat. Okay, -nb. And so it's listing all the things that are running and the ports they are running on. Right. So let me just explain a bit more. People have done web tech, I believe, as well, right? So in web tech, you have a web server that will be running on port 80. That's you start your XAMPP, and then you can start browsing. That means that your browser, your XAMPP, your Apache server. So in this case, I haven't started any services yet. But anytime you start any of these, so for example, I try to start Apache, you'd say, that's my process ID, and those are the two ports I'm listening on. Right? So that means that if I go to my browser and type localhost colon 8080, then that means that what? The server, that is Apache, is going to be listening. So this is now actually closer to what we are doing in this class. Apache is listening on that port for commands. And when he hears something, he will then what? Process it and reply. When he hears something. And Apache actually has started two sockets. So he's listening on two sockets. Right? And this is very much like, assuming you had maybe multiple phones, or if it's a company, there are multiple extensions. So what the operating system will do is, if someone says, oh, I want an extension, just like here you go to the IT department and you assign a phone with an extension, you can get an extension. Of course, since it's a computer, the extension assignment and the deallocation is almost automatic. Whilst in real life, you have to walk there, make an application, maybe they'll find out what is your role, they get your phone, they connect to the wall, it's a whole bunch of stuff. Right. Now, the program I wanted to, as I put here, was netstat. If you click netstat, one of the things I like is it lists all the things. So these are all the addresses, and these are the ports, and who is running it. So for example, it says, so let me just sort this alphabetically. So you can see Chrome. So these are old sockets. Old sockets means someone opened it and closed it. Right. If you say, okay, people are closing things and opening things. Let me do, okay. Green ones are the new sockets. Let's see if people are opening. Oh, it's Chrome. Chrome is opening, creating new sockets and closing sockets. So Chrome by itself, that means in order for all the Chromites, the little Chromes to communicate or to network, because they are all running different tabs, but each tab is like its own standalone process. So to communicate, that means that what? They have to send information up and down. And the way they are doing it is by what? They open a socket, and someone listens, and someone sends an information, and then he closes it. Right? And that means that then they can do the multitasking.
So you say something about Apache now having two different ports. So all of them can see. So how do you know if this program has gotten the information first?
Okay, so that is a good question. So before we do that, we'll actually show how threads work, right? So that means that it's possible for a program to actually be listening or to be doing two things at once. Currently, you have not been thinking about it that way, but it is possible. So what I'll do to accomplish that is I'll go to NetBeans